Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Vital Stories. Well, जब बात घूमने फिरने की आती है, तो हम सबकी पहली प्रेफरेंस होती है पहाड़ों में जाना. बट जब पहाड़ और पढ़ाई मिक्स होते हैं, तो क्या होता है? So let's find it out. So please help me in welcoming Joshna from IGMC Shimla.
Hello everyone, my name is Joshna Verma. I am a second year MBBS student at Indira Gandhi Medical College and Hospital in Shimla. And thank you, sir, for having me for this conversation.
So Joshna, अभी सेकेंड ईयर की जर्नी कैसी चल रही है आपकी?
It's going good. We are close to the final exams, profs, but yeah, it's going good. It's fun as of now.
ओके, सो एमबीबीएस की जर्नी में जाने से पहले आपकी जो यूजी जर्नी रही है, आप उसके बारे में थोड़ा बता पाओगे?
I have been in many different schools. Mostly मेरी education चंडीगढ़ से हुई है, धर्मशाला से हुई है, and school life में I was kind of a studious kid, shy, introverted सा थोड़ा. But I used to participate in co-curriculars. I was good in studies as well. So balanced out सा school life था मेरा. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, and talking about your UG experience regarding the preparation.
I did my coaching in 11, 12 standard and my drop year from Akash Institute, Chandigarh.
Okay.
And there, I think coaching institute gave me that opportunity to really work on myself, to work on the topics. पढ़ना कैसे होता है competitive exam के लिए उसका idea मुझे mostly coaching institute से लगा. So I would say they have a huge role in my journey and a good positive impact on my life as well.
ओके, सो जोशना, जब आपकी जर्नी चल रही थी, राइट, ड्यूरिंग योर स्कूल लाइफ आल्सो, वो कौन सा मोमेंट था व्हेन यू डिसाइडेड कि यार एमबीबीएस चूज करनी है?
School में, like especially till 10th standard, I was pretty undecided about what I wanted to do in my life. I had like all these, जैसे होता है बचपन में that you want to be a doctor, you want to be an engineer, you want to be an artist, you want to be an actor, model, musician. Like I had varied interests. I wanted to be a writer at one point. So all of that, I think it was after 10th maybe, like when you decide a field ki 11th में क्या लेना है. So at that point I had good marks, so there was this option कि ठीक है, like I had a slight inclination towards biology, so that was one reason, जो कि I think बहुत medicals के साथ होता है कि bio अच्छी लगती है, maths नहीं अच्छा लगता, and they decide कि okay, then let's go with medical. But also I had this feeling like I loved, there was a slight like admiration, though I didn't have much of an exposure to medical field, but like there was an admiration, a general like wanting to be like, oh, how cool would it be to be an to be a doctor. And वो सब था. After that, once I started studying for it, once I kind of went into it full on, then it was pretty much like, okay, let's do this. And I think हर किसी के लिए एक अलग रीजन होता है मेडिकल चूज करने का. तो मेरे लिए पर्टिकुलरली वो रीजन था लाइक व्हेन आई वाज इन 11th स्टैंडर्ड, तो आई टेकन मेडिकल at that point. My nanu was ill for a little while. तो उस पॉइंट पे while he was in hospital, I kind of always was like he should be fine and he should come home hearty and healthy. तो उस टाइम पे मुझे डॉक्टर्स की इम्पोर्टेंस first hand feel हुई, and that was kind of a moment where I felt this profession, I mean, these people, they actually save lives. They stand in the way of life and death. So that was a huge motivating factor for me to study and be a doctor.
आप ठीक हो?
Yeah, he's fine. He's good.
ओके, सो यू गोना बी द फर्स्ट जनरेशन डॉक्टर ऑफ योर फैमिली, राइट?
मेरी मासी भी डॉक्टर है, but yeah, like considering my parents are not doctors, I'll be the first generation doctor.
ओके, सो टॉकिंग अबाउट योर एमबीबीएस कॉलेज लाइफ, हाउ डज इट फील कि जब आपको पता लगा कि यू आर गेटिंग आईजीएमसी शिमला?
It was one of the most beautiful moments in my life, I would say. It was that, जब allotment list आती है and you see your name on it, and yeah, ये college allot हो गया है. So it was that moment I'll never forget. Especially, I think I was good. I was like, okay, new chapter in my life is beginning, but it was my parents' reaction and my family's reaction that kind of made it all, worth remembering. So I remember like the list came, and my dad opened it, and he cried. He cried and he hugged me, and my mom hugged me. All like it was overwhelming. जो family का response था, and especially my parents. So I would say कि it was their reaction and their love that made it all so special.
ओके, सो लेट्स डाइव इनटू योर फर्स्ट डे। कैसा था आपका फर्स्ट डे ऑफ med school?
First day. Um, First day, we were called into the auditorium, and हम nobody knew nobody. ठीक है, हम लोग थोड़ा बहुत मिले थे on the day of admission, but like really nobody knew anyone. And we went in to the auditorium. Everybody was excited, and at that moment you can feel the excitement, the energy. वो different होता है. It's in the air actually that you feel on the first day of med school. So principal ma'am came in and she addressed all of us. A lot of the esteemed faculty was there, and a lot of professors shared their stories with us of like how they started their journey and over the years what they have learned while being in practice. So I think it was that one moment that you realize, oh, I'm finally here in med school for which I had been working so hard for so long. And yeah, then we had a nice little lunch in the college cafeteria, which was organized by the college, and that was most of the first day.
Okay, so IGMC, was it your dream college?
Uh, it was one of the colleges I had like in mind as top
Okay.
priority, I would say. Uh, my dream college at the moment, while I was preparing, I mean, हर किसी मेडिको के लिए होता है, like AIMS is, or like for me GMC Chandigarh was, or and then like there was IGMC Shimla in the list. But once I got it, and I came here, no regrets at all. Absolutely amazing college and amazing life. So yeah, it took me a little while to adjust to the mountains and the mountain life, but yeah, I'm pretty well acclimatized now.
Okay. So वैसे तो देखो पहाड़ों की लाइफ पे भी आएंगे, since you're from
Mhm.
चंडीगढ़, right?
Yes.
ओके, सो क्योंकि देखो जब आपने फैसिनेशन रखी होगी कि आईजीएमसी शिमला की, जो आपकी इनिशियल एक्सपेक्टेशंस थी, हाउ डिफरेंट
Mhm.
फ्रॉम द एक्चुअल एक्सपीरियंस?
I think not too far. I would say when you start to study for medical college, like preparation, NEET preparation, you have a certain idea कि medical college ऐसा होगा, वैसा होगा, it be doctors, white coat पहन के घूमेंगे. I think for me, particularly, medical college in reality exceeded the expectations I had. I knew that first year is preclinical, so I kind of expected that there will be classes and like we'll do the classes, we'll go back home and then study, and that was my baseline expectation. And then when I came here, I realized it was more than that. It was in first year also we have a lot of preclinical in first year also we have a lot of early clinical exposure. Then there's dissection hall, physiology practicals where we draw blood and all of that. So there's a lot of practical aspect even in the first year. So that was something that I was pleasantly surprised by, especially the dissection hall things, and they're very exciting. uh, in addition, I would say yeah, I had a little expectation that like a medical college may there'd be a lot of co-curriculars and like games and all of that. That is something जो शायद इतना नहीं होता because we're studying a lot. So yeah, fine balance, I would say.
So till now, what have been the most rewarding experience till the second year?
Most rewarding experience.
Yes.
Um, Most rewarding. Um, well, for me, there was one particular incident. So during from second year, our clinics begin, and while I went to surgery clinics for the very first time, it was my first day of surgery posting in wards, and I had very little knowledge about how to take patient history. So there's a certain, like, you have case performers, and like there's a pattern to which you take a surgical case history. And considering it was my first day, I had very, very little knowledge about how to do, what to do. So I come in and I enter the male surgical unit one with no idea of what to do. And the class was about to start in like 15 to about 30-ish minutes, I would say. And I
Mhm.
go in with the expectation कि okay, history लेंगे. And I went to this patient. वो uncle लेटे हुए थे बेड पे, and I felt a little hesitant कि disturb करूं कि नहीं. But somehow I went in. I asked him कि आप कैसे हैं, कहाँ से हैं, नाम क्या है, वगैरह वगैरह. And I came to know that, without revealing much, he was a cancer patient, cancer survivor, and he was in for a surgery from which he was recovering. So it was that one conversation on my very first day ना, तो उन्होंने मुझे अपने बारे में सब कुछ इतने प्यार से बताया. And he was Punjabi, so I talked to him a little bit in Punjabi. And फिर अंकल ने मुझे अपनी बेटी से मिलवाया. He told me his life stories. He was an engineer. Considering he was an old man, he was around 70, so like he was an engineer from that point. And धीरे धीरे, like, about 30-40 minutes, I stood there. I listened to what he had to say. He showed me his medication, his stories, how he got diagnosed, his treatment, his experience with doctors, and all of that. I mean, I got very little history out of him, but what really happened was, while I was about to go, he literally blessed me and said, "Beta, बहुत अच्छे doctor बनोगे किसी दिन." It was that first moment na, that I hold very dear for me, especially. You know, he was an old man who very sweetly on my first day, said this thing to me. So, एक special memory है मेरे लिए. I think that would be the most rewarding.
Amazing, यार. So moving ahead, talking about your equations, specifically talking about the freshers, seniors
Mm-hmm.
तो बाद में आएंगे.
Mm-hmm.
Freshers कैसी थी आप लोगों की?
Freshers. So our batch was got into college on September 1st, I think, and
Mhm.
by the end of September we had freshers in, so it came pretty quickly, and we were all very excited. Got dressed up, went to college, and freshers की बहुत अच्छी memories भी है, खतरनाक सी memories भी है मेरी. So like we clicked a lot of photos. There was this excitement, and there was a rush also to things, like सब कुछ जल्दी जल्दी हो रहा था, पता नहीं चल रहा था कि क्या करना है, कहाँ जाना है. And there was this one segment that I remember very particularly, where you go on stage and you have to introduce yourself to the audience. And that introduction in most colleges happens in Hindi. ठीक है, तो ठीक है, मैंने introduction किया था. And there's one segment where you have to say a tagline. Now that tagline thing was something जो मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि, like, what's a tagline? What do I have as a tagline? I don't have a tagline, and that could even be a tagline. The irony of the thing situation is that. So last minute किसी ने backstage Google करके मुझे कोई tagline दे दी थी, which I went and said on stage. बहुत ही like hooting hoti hai. There are people shouting, screaming. It's all very exciting. And then I got selected for the second round of, like, talent round, ramp walk kind of thing. So that happened. I narrated a poem which I don't remember now, but all of it. And there was DJ night in the evening. DJ in the evening. There was like food and DJ. All of that
Tagline क्या
was
थी?
there. मुझे नहीं याद. मुझे बिल्कुल याद नहीं है क्या
Okay.
थी. किसी ने मुझे, आई डोंट इवन रिमेम्बर कि किसने मुझे दी थी. somebody like gave me a phone, like I was backstage and I was like, tagline नहीं है मेरे पास, and somebody gave me some random line on phone जो मैंने वहां जाके बोल दिया. And 2 seconds ago I crammed it and went on stage and said it. So there are things that you experience, a lot of things. हर college में अलग सा freshers होता है. There are different trends that are there, but overall I would say an experience I would remember. Yeah.
ओके. सो जैसे अगर आपके सीनियर्स की बात करें, कैसे हैं, मतलब हु इज योर फेवरेट सीनियर?
से नाम तो नहीं लूंगी मैं, but I would have to say, you meet all kinds of people. You meet people, from different walks of life who have come to this college, different experiences, and sometimes it might take you time to adjust to this new environment and have good relations with people, but eventually you do find people of your interests or liking. And fortunately, I found some really amazing seniors in this college. Yeah.
ओके सो देखो होता क्या है कि वंस यू एंटर इनटू अ प्रोफेशनल लाइफ है स्पेसिफिकली सेटअप की अगर मैं बात करूं तो देयर वुड बी पीपल जिनको आप एडमायर करते होगे बाय सीइंग बाय एक्सपीरियंस और एनीथिंग बाय
Mhm.
ऑब्जर्वेशन सो इज देयर एनी पर्टिकुलर पर्सन ड्यूरिंग योर कॉलेज लाइफ टिल नाउ कि जिसको आप एडमायर करते हो बीट योर सीनियर सुपर सीनियर इंटर्न्स और पोस्ट इंटर्न्स
I would say, I mean, there are people in my seniors who are really worth admiring and absolutely amazing. There's Dr. Angru from 21 batch. There's Dr. Minakshi, who's an intern. They're passing out very recently, 19 batch. So there are people who, these strong, powerful girls who have their, their power, identity and like, they're amazing in all walks of life. So I would say, yeah, they're
so
really inspiring.
any special trait or quality they have which makes you feel ki you should admire them.
And such, I don't admire people in the sense that I want to be like them. I just admire people for who they are as a person. So I think the way they treat people, I think the kindness, the
Mhm.
way you talk to people, the way you address your seniors, the way you address your juniors, all of it, I think as a person who you are is something worth admiring. Yeah.
ओके अभी के लिए देखो अगर मैं बात करूं मतलब फन फैक्टर की सो आई नो कि एमबीबीएस इज अ लॉट ऑफ अबाउट स्टडीज यू नो पढ़ो पढ़ाई करो असाइनमेंट्स एंड ऑल सो व्हाट डू यू गाइस डू इन योर फ्री टाइम
We sleep. We sleep.
ओके
Well, no, but jokes apart, I think in free time there's a lot that can be done. Personally, I like to put in my free time into doing things that I like. So I like to go to the gym. That's I feel gym, yoga, playing badminton. I like to write, and like sometimes when you don't want to do any of those productive things, you just want to like sit in bed and watch a movie. That is all the time we have apart from the studies. Like, we can barely manage time. So
ओके
yeah.
सो as you mentioned about you write as well right
Yeah.
so and any specific lines you would like to quote over here
Um, Specific line. Um, okay. This is something I wrote while like very like a long time ago when I got into medical college, which was like I took a drop and I got here after that. So this is like just a two-liner. I rose years later with ink in my veins and charm in my eyes, with hopes and dreams to rise again. I don't remember much of my poetry, but yeah, like, that's
Fair
all I
enough.
got.
So,
Mhm.
टॉकिंग अबाउट सी जैसे स्टिमुलस के टाइम पे भी अगर देखो आई थिंक मैं अगर अपना एक्सपीरियंस बात करूं कि आईजीएमसी शिमला इज वन ऑफ द टॉप कॉलेज ऑफ हिमाचल राइट एंड फ्रैंकली
Mhm.
स्पीकिंग इट्स टॉकिंग अबाउट एक्सपीरियंस साइड about your seniors super seniors and overall in terms of competency as well तो I guess वो cut throat competition भी है right
Mhm.
so अगर मैं बात करूं competency wise how's the overall experience you guys have as far as your batchmates are concerned.
I think IGMC is one of those colleges which has a lot of focus on the academics, and we have a competency-based medical curriculum. So
Mhm.
definitely, you have to certify every competency that is the classes, the lectures. They are designed on the whole competency-based education system, and we do study that way. As far as competencies are concerned, I think I have very, very like strong memories of getting my logbook signed in anatomy, because that used to be a struggle for like every competency. You had to study, you had to draw the diagrams, and you had to demonstrate in front of the professor to like get one signature in the logbook. So that is how it goes. And I think the older you get, like the higher class you go to, you have more competencies, more syllabus, and
Okay.
that is something that is mandatory for everyone in the college, like in the class, to get signed and done.
Mhm. So talking about college की अगर मैं बात करूं आपका एक इवेंट होता है एनुअल इवेंट दैट इज स्टिमुलस
Stimulus,
राइट आई थिंक आपने लास्ट ईयर अटेंड किया होगा
of course, yeah.
हाउ वाज द एक्सपीरियंस
I was I would say it was one of my most favorite memories from college so far, especially because हमारा पहला stimulus था. We just gotten into second year, तो वो honeymoon phase of second year, what they call ना, वो बिल्कुल शुरू ही हुआ था. We were totally enjoying the clinical postings and everything that was happening, and then stimulus preparations began. The preparation, dance preparation. I was in Bollywood slash Western dance, and there were sports events and everything. And then I ended up winning Miss Stimulus, which was the highlight.
ओके,
Yeah. So it was a very good experience.
फेयर इनफ। हालांकि मैं यहाँ पे एक चीज ऐड ऑन करूंगा। आई थिंक ये बोला जाता है कि स्टिमुलस की एक लेगेसी है, और आई वुड से आईजीएमसी की एक लेगेसी है,
हाँ
स्टिमुलस
जी।
में ऐसे नोट, राइट? क्या होता है वो?
Essay Note is a skit slash act which is performed by a lot of our college students only,
हाँ,
where they roast everyone in the college who has been in like who has been highlighted in any of the college activities so far. So it's a very wonderful roast by them. Yeah,
ओके, सो
that's what it is about.
एनी
Huh?
सॉर्ट ऑफ मोमेंट यू रिमेम्बर अबाउट ऐसे नोट की यार ये हुआ था?
I mean, there was a roast about me that was pretty worth remembering. Uski kind of, um, yeah. So essay note, there was a little segment about me that was kind of, yeah, they
अपार्ट
had
फ्रॉम योरसेल्फ, एनी पर्टिकुलर इंसिडेंट?
in the essay note.
यस।
Uh, I mean, there was references. See, they will never name names, and they'll make it clear who they are talking about. So there were a lot of people from our batch, from senior batches, who were targeted, so as to say, not targeted, but like in a jovial sense of the way they were uh, made fun of or mocked slightly. There were certain nuances where they talked about. Um, Relationships that are going on between people in colleges, whether in our batch or like senior batches. So those kind of things do come up. And yeah, so it is done in fun and games, and it should be taken in that spirit, I feel.
ओके, सो जैसे आप रिलेशनशिप्स के बारे में बता रहे हो, अभी रिसेंटली मेरी डिस्कशन श्रेया से हुई थी, शी इज फ्रॉम जेएमसी
Mhm.
चंडीगढ़, राइट?
Yes.
तो वहां के देखो जेएमसी चंडीगढ़ का तो मतलब दैट हैज अ डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव। अकॉर्डिंग टू योर एक्सपीरियंस, व्हाट्स योर टेक ऑन रिलेशनशिप स्पेसिफिकली इन आईजीएमसी शिमला?
Um, Relationships, I mean, if you end up finding somebody you like and the feeling is mutual, it's a good thing. But not something like you should be too focused on, like, okay, I do have to be in a relationship. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. So I think to each is their own. If you end up finding a person you like, it's a good
बट
thing
डज
who
इट
has
लास्ट फॉरएवर?
company. Huh?
बट डज इट लास्ट फॉरएवर? टॉकिंग अबाउट कॉलेज रिलेशनशिप्स।
See, it a relationship lasting forever, nobody can say that, right? And maybe like I've heard a very beautiful thing very recently that people come in your life for seasons. So maybe like two people can have a beautiful season together and then they walk their separate ways. That is also one way of looking at it. But also, yeah, so for some people, relationships do last forever.
ओके,
For
सो
some, they don't.
फेयर इनफ। सो अभी के लिए देखो, जैसे जो आपकी जर्नी रही है, तो क्योंकि सिंस आप पहाड़ों में रहते हो, एंड सिंस आपने बताया यू वर इन्वॉल्व इन एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज एज वेल, राइट? सो एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ फिल्मी थिंग यू हैव डन टिल नाउ?
Any sort of, sorry,
फिल्मी थिंग you have done till now?
filmy thing. Um, Actually, I don't have much of filmy per se things. I've done a couple of like ramp walks, or like I've given speeches, debates, but as such particularly filmy thing, I would say, okay. So once during stimulus preparations, there was a thing that we had to vacate the campus by 8 or 9 at night, and we weren't very prepared. So we'd like switch the lights off and like everybody would go out, and then we'd sneak out of the college, and from some secret way, like secret paths, we'd sneak back into the college. And when the watchman would go, we'd turn on the lights and we'd practice. And this kind of went on for like a little, like few days. And then we had a party at night, which was very, very which is one of my most beautiful memories of stimulus preparation days, that all of us, so we didn't do any preparation. It was one of like the last few days of stimulus prep. Then yeah, so we just stayed in like one tiny little room जहाँ पे कोई हमें देख ना पाए, and we had like food come in, and like बहुत अच्छी सी party थी, sweet सी, which was given by our senior, so that was lovely.
Okay. Now I'm gonna ask one of the most controversial questions. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Go IGMC Shimla and RPGMC Tanda. Right. They
Okay.
both are the top colleges. Right. And I guess they go both goes hand in hand. So according to your confidence level, what do you think which one is better and why?
See, I am from IGMC Shimla, so I would definitely pick IGMC any day. Um, and having said that, while I was filling the counseling for NEET, my dad literally took me on a campus tour to the Tanda Medical College, and even then I ended up choosing Shimla. So I would say, like, for me, it's Shimla. Um, I think if you compare a few things, like I said, we might have a hostel issue, which is not there in Panda. So that's a plus point they have. Then there is a slight weather thing that for some people, Shimla can be a little hard to live in, considering the weather conditions. It's pretty cold over here, especially in the winters. That's not the case in Panda. It's pretty like bright and sunny over there. So it's a plain area here. They have better grounds, sports facility. Again, that is something that is related to the hilly terrain that Shimla has. And Tanda is relatively a plain area. And apart from that, I think as far as the education part of things is concerned, there's not much of a difference. There's amazing faculty here, and I'm sure they have amazing faculty. The one big plus point that IGMC Shimla has is the amazing clinical experience that we get to have from second year onwards. I would say that the kind of cases that we even as second year MBBS students get to see is something I'm pretty sure not many medical colleges have, especially considering that IGMC has huge footfall of patients. So our clinical exposure as future doctors definitely gets better. So that is the biggest plus point that I feel IGMC Shimla has.
So is there any kind of myth you would like to bust out about the medical colleges?
A myth. When people say medical college is no fun, that's not true. Medical college is a lot of fun. We do have, um, you know, little fun between our study sessions and exams and everything. But as such, medical college is that one place. If you end up here, if you are here, so maybe you have done something right and you have worked a lot to be here. So I think some people, they kind of forget that as they go on. So I think if you can keep appreciating the magic in the profession in general, in the art of healing, I would say, then medical college is a very exciting place to be. It is one of the best places and professions you can be. Truly, like
Okay.
a blessing to be. Yeah.
Fair enough. So moving ahead to the last question, since देखो अभी नीट यूजी हुआ है, right? And सबको पता है फिजिक्स का पेपर was a blunder
Hmm.
for I think all of the students because it was a totally unexpected thing. So any
Hmm.
sort of advice you would like to give to all the NEET UG aspirants?
Um, See, NEET is one of the toughest things that you do in your life as an undergrad. And if you're putting in the hard work and if you have put in the time, effort, hard work, maybe this time it didn't work out, that does not mean it will not. If you feel that in your heart and soul that this profession, the medical profession is for you, and you want to be here and you want to do this thing on a day-to-day basis, you want to live this life, then you should give it everything you have got. This profession, it demands sometimes more than what you're capable of giving at the moment. Sometimes it takes your sleep, it's nights, early mornings, it takes your dedication, discipline, it takes everything that you have to offer and then some to be a doctor. And this is like me saying in my second year, when I have a long road in front of me, it takes a lot of time. It is a profession that will take you. It is a profession that will where you have to study for life. You have to be a lifelong learner, actually, in every sense of the word. Where you can't sit, okay, आज पढ़ लिया और like एक हफ्ता नहीं पढ़ा. You won't survive without studying in medical college. So if this is the life you want to have for yourself, where um you have to put in that much time, effort, everything. So and you save people's life in return. So I think you should give it a shot and you should give your best effort. The best you can be, the best version that you can be is the version that this profession demands from you. So, yeah, all the best to all the NEET aspirants and the students who get into medical colleges this year and in the years to come. All the very best to all of you.
Well, thank you so much, Joshna,
Thanks
for
for having
sharing
me.
your valuable time with us, and wish you all the best for your future endeavors, and specifically for the exams you would be
Thank
appearing.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Al.
Okay. Thank you. Cut the call.